Hi, Papa Tom again. This is item number 3. If you recall last lesson, we talked about the drip account. Well, if you've been dripping since then, by now water has begun to form in the bucket. This is your feel-good account, the account you feel good about. Now, no doubt you have debt. Debt is a nasty, nasty thing. It is a horrible thing. It is being used against you instead of for you. And you're interested in using your money for you. So, when I was in college, I had a friend come up to me. I'll call him Bob. Bob said to me, boy, you know, I'm going to school. I've got my school loan. I spent it. I've got debts on my charge card. And I'm working an account as a bartender in the evening and weekends. But I just can't seem to get anywhere. I said, well, have you thought about a drip account? He said, no, what is that? Well, I said, you just put some money aside each week in a special account. It's called your drip account. And like water going into a bucket, the drip may drive you nuts. In fact, it becomes a real burden psychologically if you're asleep and you hear a drip, drip, drip in the kitchen, or a leak in the roof because it's raining. But you find out that when you wake up and you look at the bucket you put under the drip, it's full. How can that be when all you did was a drip each week into that account? Well, your money, it grows the same way. So George went about, and I ran into him several months later, and he says, Tom, I want to thank you for telling me about the drip account. He says, I put $5 aside each Friday until it equaled my debt. And then I paid off my debt with the money from my drip account. I said, well, that's great, George. So now you're debt free. He said, yes, I am. And I've got you to thank. I said, well, that's great. So how's your drip account? Oh, I stopped that. I don't need that anymore. Whoa, I didn't say anything. If he didn't see it, I wasn't going to tell him. But you keep that drip account going. And you don't use it to pay off debt. You pay off debt with the rest of your income, the rest of your money. You leave the drip account, the feel-good account, to have you feel good. Now what happens? Okay, you've got, say, you're an adult. You've been putting aside a fair amount of money. A comfortable amount, but not enough to stress you. You don't want it to stress your finances, because then you lose interest in it. You decide not to do it. But you want it to be enough that it accumulates. So once you've accumulated enough, we start by opening a retirement account. Now you may be young, you may be old, you may already have a retirement account. That is good. My hat is off to you. Congratulations. A retirement account is for when you retire. With your money when you retire, not Social Security. That's a separate thing. That comes from the side of the government providing funds for you. A retirement account is your money which you have set aside. Now, take some of your feel-good money and open, again, you go to a bank, they'll explain several programs to you, you pick the one you want, and what's the minimum to get it started, they'll tell you. And when you have enough in your feel-good account to keep your feel-good account open and to start a retirement account, then you start a retirement account. And you continue to feed with the drip system your feel-good account, and let it grow and let it grow. Now, your savings account may be paying you 1%, 2%, some small percentage. Well, they have what they call savings certificates of deposit. and they come in different denominations and at different interest rates. What you want is the maximum. So find out how much money it takes to buy a certificate of deposit and for how long to earn how much interest. Interest earned is your money working for you, earning you money, not the government, not anybody but you. You're becoming a capitalist. You now have a feel-good account. You have a retirement account which you've opened. That money is working in your retirement account. It may only be pennies a year, but believe me, by the time you retire, it will be substantial. And you now have a savings certificate which earns better interest than your feel-good account. You have a retirement account. You have 3 investments. By golly, you're becoming a capitalist. You are funding 3 different things. I wish you well. Next time, we're going to talk about being in, well, how can I say it? You're in a box, and how do you break out of that box? How do you break out and become a wealthy capitalist? Until then, this is Papa Tom saying thank you and goodbye.